Thank you. Drummers have strange things that they do to make their drums sound good. Michael put some Splenda packets on his snare to try to do something to the sound, and so you might see Splenda flying throughout the show. We're not sponsored by Splenda or anything. If they land in your lap and you're in need of a sweetener for your coffee, go ahead and use that one. It's fine. He'll get another. I'll lighten the mood a little bit. I've been married for 9 years, almost 10 years. We'll celebrate 10 years this year. And I've got 2 kids. I've got a 4.5-year-old son, Sam, and an 18-month-old son, Jude. And they're adopted, and they're the greatest. And anyway, I love my wife, I'm crazy about my wife. I wouldn't have it any other way. She's the best. I mean that. I wish I was with her now. I've only been gone a few hours and I already miss her really bad. But anyway, when we dated, that's kind of the way that people do it. You date a little bit and then you get married. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. That's the way we did it. And I didn't like dating. I'm still not crazy about it. It's just kind of this weird thing. Talk about best foot forward. Talk about faking it. Dating's kind of like, hey, this is how I always dress. And I'm not sucking in my gut, and all my jokes are always this funny. I've got tons of jokes that are this funny. That's what dating is. It's just kind of this thing where you pretend to be really perfect, and then out come the sweatpants, and you get tired of sucking in your gut, and your jokes aren't as funny. And so I don't know. I just didn't like it, and I just wanted to marry Stacy. Her name's Stacy. I wanted to marry her. I didn't want to date her. I just thought, can we just skip ahead to the other thing? So obviously that didn't happen, but we didn't date that long. We dated about 7 months. We were engaged for about 4 months. So in the world's kind of scale, it was pretty fast. But we did a lot of fighting. I have this problem with I'm kind of an intense communicator, and I tend to sort of speak at people, and I'm not real gracious whenever I do it. And so I was speaking at her a lot, in a really unkind way, just kind of really blowing it. And she's a kind of a processor, so she would hear these long speeches I would give her about life and relationships and whatever else, and she would just sit there, which made it worse, because then it's just like I'm fighting and she's not even fighting back, so that was maddening. So anyway, one night we're over at her apartment, and we get in a fight. In other words, I said mean things, and so I said, I'm out of here, I'm leaving. She said, fine, leave. So I started to walk to the door, and I'd seen TV shows and movies where people are in love, and in those kind of movies, the point of the movie is that they stay together. You sort of, they meet, they fall in love, then they sort of almost break up, and it's about to be the end of the movie, and you think, oh no, and they get back together. That's how it works. They're about to get on. Someone's about to get on a plane and leave forever, and that's going to ruin the whole deal. But just before they get on the plane to leave, this person looks at him and says something like, "Baby, please don't go." So I was thinking about those movies, and I was walking to the door, and I was walking real slow because I thought maybe she might think of that movie and maybe stop me before I went home and save our relationship, roll credits. So that was my goal. So I walked real slow and got to the door, nothing. So I was really hurt. I went home, I was really hurt, and I was really upset, and I had a feeling in my heart. I'm not proud of the feeling, but I'm going to share it here with you for the sake of modeling honesty for you. Since I've talked about it, I'm going to model it for you. The feeling I had was I loved her, but I wanted to kill her. Yeah, not a very Christian Bookstore thing to say. So, obviously that's wrong. It's bad. So I considered my options. Obviously, killing people is wrong. So I don't want to marry her. So I thought, well, I could write a song about it. That's what I do for a living. I write songs for a living, so I could write a song about it. That'll make me feel much better. So I got out my guitar and I wrote this little song about how I loved her, but I wanted to hurt her really bad. And I thought it was really funny, so it made me feel better. And the next day I called her up and I said, hey, I'm gonna come over, let's work this out. She said, great. So I went over to her house and I had my guitar with me, and I said, I've written a song specifically for you. And I played her this little song, and I think she was, looking back, I think maybe she was expecting some kind of apologetic love song, but it was this song about how I loved her and I wanted to hurt her really bad. And so I thought, she'll love this. She'll think this is so funny. She didn't think it was funny at all. So I put it away. We got into another fight and started all over again. So I put the song away, and I thought, this song isn't even finished yet, but I'm just gonna put it away. I'm gonna sacrifice a potential super hit for love. I think that's pretty noble. So I put the song away, and I intended to not even finish it. We kept dating. A couple months later, this friend of mine named Chris, he writes songs pretty successfully, and he called me up and he says, "Hey, did you finish that song about that girl that you love but you wanted to hurt?" And I said, "No, I'm still with that girl, and she hates that song, so I'm not allowed to talk about it, really." So he said, "Well, I've got some material. This friend of mine, this girl that I was dating, I was in love with her, and she called and said, 'Let's just be friends.'" Some of you may have heard this expression, "Let's just be friends." It actually sounds really, really close to a really nice phrase. If I meet some of you tonight, I've met some of you already, and if I said, "Hey, let's be friends," that sounds nice. But if you say, "Let's just be friends," it's weird. Like that one word translates the whole deal, turns it into like, "I hate you," into like, "You're ugly," into "no one would want to marry you." That it somehow it becomes that. So she had told him, "Let's just be friends," and dumped him. And so he was really hurt, and he said, I've got material for your song." And I said, "Yes, this is a word from the Lord." So he came over, and we finished this song. And so this is not a very spiritual song. This isn't sometimes when people are playing music, people will lift their hands or come to the front. This isn't that moment in this concert. This is something else entirely. I'm not sure what moment this is, but it's not that moment. I know one thing, it's a country music moment, because I think funny songs have to be country songs, so this is appropriately a country song, which hopefully is funny. It's called "Anymore." I should have known this. They say that I'm from Mars and you're from Venus, but I tried it anyway. Who am I to think that I can understand your brain? That's insane. I guess I love you. That's the only explanation for what I do. When you are around, girl, I get so crazy when I look into your eyes. It makes me think that I am gonna take you right down to the station, where I'll buy you a one-way ticket out of town. Then I'll send you a postcard from the farthest place from there, and I'll sign it, "I'm so glad that you ain't here," and I'll build you a big old lovely statue of my new girlfriend, the one I left you for, and then I'll send it COD, express mail, to your door. That's exactly what I'll do soon as I don't love you anymore. Yeah. This is my friend Chris, who got dumped. I got this theory that the women of the world are out to get me, and I know of one who tried. She seemed to think that we could be just friends for life. Well, girl, think twice, 'cause friends don't kiss me, and they pay for their own ticket at the movie. So I hope you brought some cash. You and all your other friends can do what you want to. But girl, I think we're through. I guess I'll drive you way out in the country, where I'll leave you with nothing but your clothes, and then I'll watch you get smaller in the mirror as I drive. Pray to God that you'll survive, so you can see me on every single station of your TV, singing about you and making money. Just think of all the things I could afford, but I won't spend a nickel on you, 'cause I don't think I'll love you anymore. That That's exactly what I'll do as soon as I don't love you anymore. Thanks. Somewhere? No?